Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face while you're sleeping. People love to say that we can travel the entire world, but what if there are some places that we can't visit? Not at any cost. From a secret, hidden doomsday vault to an island with thousands of snakes, here are 10 forbidden places you're not allowed to visit. Number 10. SURTSEY Island, Iceland. The island of SURTSEY in Iceland originated around 55 years ago due to a volcanic eruption, which led to scientists seizing the rare opportunity to observe the formation and evolution of an ecosystem from scratch. This wondrous event is the reason why access is restricted to it from the outside world. It all began in 1963, when a violent volcanic eruption led to the formation of SURTSEY, one of the newest islands on the planet. Due to water and wind erosion, the island has been gradually decreasing in size. Research has suggested that at the speed the erosion is taking place, SURTSEY could reach sea level by 2100. Bacteria, fungi, and molds were the first things to be birthed on the island. Hence, the number of animal and plant species significantly increased. According to UNESCO, it's said that presently, about 89 species of birds and 335 invertebrates populate the area. In order to keep the island flourishing, only researchers are allowed to visit the island.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you'll get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it. It really works.
Number 9. Ise Grand Shrine, Japan. The Grand Shrine of Ise is an incredibly integral place in the Shinto religion, as it was built to honor the goddess of the sun and the universe, Amaterasu. Interestingly, the shrine was built without the use of a single nail. Even more interestingly is that this temple is rebuilt every 20 years in accordance to the Shinto belief of death and rebirth. Most recently, this reconstruction took place in 2013. Each time they reconstruct the shrine, they continue to make use of the wood joining technique and never use nails. To preserve its holiness, only priests and imperial family members are allowed to go inside. The rest can marvel at the temple from the outside through wooden fences. Number 8. North Sentinel Island, India. It just so happens that while the remaining islands in this cluster are typically bigger and better known, North Sentinel, filled with mangroves and surrounded by coral, has remained apparently untouched by the rest of the world. It might sound like heaven on earth, but do not be fooled. While this location makes it one of the most isolated regions on Earth, it's home to a few of the world's last uncontacted tribes. The indigenous people of the island, called the Sentinelese, have had practically no contact with the modern world. All throughout history, encounters with the tribe have been met with aggression. A 3-mile restriction zone now appears to be crossing the island to deter visitors from entering their territory. It's also been reported that the Indian government has given up trying to contact the Sentinelese. The entire tribe could be eradicated by diseases from which they possess no immunity, which is why the authorities respect their wishes and leave them alone. Number 7. North Brother Island, United States. Every year, New York welcomes millions of tourists desperate to visit every nook and cranny of the city, except for one. There's no way that you can set foot on North Brother Island without gaining authorization first, as all its buildings could crumble to dust without any warning. On this island, nature continues to flourish over the once abandoned remains of what was once the city's quarantine hospital. The past of North Brother Island is sadly a tragic tale of death and disease. In the 1880s and right into the 1940s, the site quarantined people that had contracted highly contagious diseases. All those that passed away there were packed into the island's morgue. Starting in 1951, it was utilized as a rehabilitation facility for drug addicts. In 1963, North Brother Island was abandoned for good, and it became the property of the New York City Department of Parks and Recreation. Today, they continue to manage the site as a bird sanctuary. Number 6. LASCAUX Caves, France. Most of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites are open to the public, but there are still a few exceptions. A fitting example of this are the LASCAUX Caves in France. Ever since 1963, it's been forbidden to enter these caves. A possible reason behind this is that they've been infested by a series of fungal invasions as a result of large numbers of visitors. This led to the discovery that any human presence is a threat to the caves. So, in an attempt to preserve the 900 pieces of prehistoric art dating back to the Paleolithic era, tourists are no longer allowed inside. As of this moment, these caves can only be entered by security guards, but even they have been subjected to certain limitations and restrictions. They are only allowed to enter the caves once every week, and even then can only spend a few minutes inside. Number 5. Doomsday Vault, Norway. The Global Seed Vault in Norway happens to be an extremely trivial place for us all. It is also often referred to as the Doomsday Vault. It stores about 100 million seeds from all over the Earth to restore the plant kingdom in case something really devastating and irreversible happens to the vegetation of our planet. The vault was built to last for about 200 years and was opened for storage in 2008 and can withstand explosions and earthquakes. Plus, seeing as it was built on the side of a mountain, it will still be above sea level, even if all the planet's ice begins to melt. Interestingly, the vault exceeds politics, as even North Korea gave away its seeds for storage. Number 4. Poveglia, Italy. This small island is sandwiched in between Venice and Lido in the Venetian lagoon in northern Italy. All through its history, it's been home to a fort, has been utilized as a shipping checkpoint, been a quarantine station during the bubonic plague, and during the end of the last century, it was repurposed to be an asylum. In 1968, the psychiatric hospital was shut down, and the island was abandoned. It's no wonder, as Poveglia has long been known as one of the most haunted places on Earth. Rumor has it that the ghosts of plague victims, war victims, and the ghost of a murderous asylum doctor wander the rotten grounds. The Italian government even offered the island up for a long-term lease in 2014 in the hopes that someone would redevelop the land. Number 3. Snake Island, Brazil. Let us fathom a place so overrun with the world's most lethal snakes that you can barely put your foot down without stepping on one. Probably sounds like a horror movie, right? Well, we hate to break it to you, but such a place does in fact exist. Brazil's Ilha de Queimada Grande, also known as Snake Island, has an immensely high population of golden lancehead vipers. This snake's toxin is so strong that it can melt human flesh surrounding the bitten area and ultimately kill its victims in less than an hour. A few people once lived on the island to manage the lighthouse up until the 1920s, when the last keeper and his entire family were killed by a group of snakes who had slithered inside their home through the windows. Rumors say that there's one snake per square meter on areas of the island, which is why the Brazilian government never allows tourists to visit. Only research teams are permitted inside, if they bring a doctor along. And with that, it's now time for today's subscriber pick. Today's photo was sent to us by one of our subscribers, so if you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it on over to us. We might even feature it on a future video. Number 2. On Mount Buzlutsa is a structure that's both unique and mesmerizing. The building is known as the Buzlutsa Monument and used to be the headquarters of the Bulgarian Communist Party, but it looks more like a UFO. Hence, it goes by the name of Bulgaria's UFO and is a popular destination for tourists. It sits on a hill nestled between gorges and mountains and now lies deserted. The monument was built in 1981 to house the Bulgarian Communist Party, as well as serve as a monument to historical events. However, after the Soviet Union collapsed, it was abandoned and fell into a state of ruin. Vandalism and time have made the monument dangerous, which is why it's now forbidden to enter. You can visit and glance at it from the outside, but there are security guards to prevent people from getting in. Number 1. The Vatican Secret Archives. Buried deep underground, as well as hidden within the walls of Vatican City, is present the Vatican Secret Archives, which is home to every holy document you can think of, along with historic documents, state papers, papal account books, and other official correspondences, some of which date back to the 8th century. Items include letters from Michelangelo, a letter from Mary Queen of Scots, written while she was awaiting her execution, and King Henry VIII's request for a marriage annulment. The archives, which are the official property of the current pope, have said to span over 52 miles of shelving with more than 35,000 items. Other than that, only a very small staff takes care of the archives, and access is strictly limited to qualified scholars from very particular higher education and research institutions, all of whom have to undergo a strenuous application process just to be allowed inside. Well, that concludes today's list of 10 forbidden places you're not allowed to visit. Let us know in the comment section below which one of these you were most fascinated by. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that bell icon, and we'll see you next time.